What's up, gamers? It's your boy, Lil Yeet, back at it again. So, I've gotten questions about how the speedruns are so fast, how I move so fast in the speedruns. So I'm making a video to show how to set up your loadout, gear, and gadgets in order to speedrun the game. Alright, for your primary, you're going to want to use a shotgun of some kind. Ultimatum is best because of the high damage and the fact that you can use it in 3-cat. Any of them will work. Ultimatum is probably the best one though. Backup should probably be a 3-cat weapon if you're using it. If you're not using 3-cat with your backup, just use the pulling sucker gun. Melee is a bit more complicated because of the constant balance changes. Originally, you would have wanted to use the healing staff or the triple bite. They're not great anymore. They can still work, but the speed got nerfed pretty bad. Anything with super punch will work. Realistically, I think the double cashbacks are probably the best, and regardless of what you're using, you need to have a magic module on it for the speed boost. Special and sniper don't really matter too much. You can kind of put whatever you want in there. For special, if it's not part of your 3-cat setup, you're probably not going to use it. For sniper, you just want to make sure that it can one-shot a lot of the stronger enemies, so you may have to run some damage tests. Heavy's also kind of up to the player. It's part of your 3-cat setup. Use whatever you normally use. If it's not, then you'll want to use something either with high damage or high range, so maybe Battle Falcon or anything with cluster bombs, that kind of thing. Before we get into the rest of the gear, there's a very important lobby item you're going to want to get. So you're going to go into craft, you're going to go to decorations, big decor, you're going to scroll all the way over. You're going to want to get the crowd with zombies, because it increases damage to monsters, which will help a lot in the levels that you'll be speedrunning. The rest of the lobby items don't actually matter that much. You can just kind of use whatever you normally have set up there. The rest of your gear is going to be focused on maximizing your weapons damage as well as your mobility. For armor, you're going to want to use any mythical armor that you may have, so dev armor, inflatable, combat armor, because they have the best buffs out of all the armors. If you don't have any of those, you're going to want to use wooden clan armor. It has the highest speed and jump boosts out of any of the armors, as you'll see. Alright, for your hat, you've got a couple options. You can get away with the King's Crown, which increases your movement speed and damage. You can get away with the Great Samurai Helmet, which increases movement speed, melee damage, and jump height. Your best bet is going to be the Burning Tiara, which, as you can see, gives much better buffs than the rest of them. Alright, ideally, for the mask, you'd want the Halloween mask. That's going to be your number one choice due to the massive weapon damage buff. If you can't get your hands on it, since it's a seasonal item, you're going to want to go for the Demolition Mask, which gives you a mobility buff by increasing your jump height. Alright, the cape is pretty simple. You're just going to want the cape editor. I'm pretty sure it's the cheapest one. It also gives the best buffs for speedrunning due to the movement speed and weapon damage increase. Alright, for boots, it's not an option. The Berserk boots are by far the best. They give you the ability to double jump, and they make you move significantly faster with melee weapons. And since most of the time you're going to be holding a melee weapon, that's going to give you a massive decrease in your times. The only gadget you're ever going to need to worry about getting is the Pandora's box. You really don't need any other gadgets for any of the speedruns, and if it hits at max level, it one-shots most enemies. Alright, just the last 2 tips or so. First one, you're going to want to upgrade your modules as much as possible, at least the ones you're using. makes a huge difference. And the last tip here is, on World 4, none of the gear bonuses I've been talking about have any effect. The only ones that have an effect are modules on the guns that are allowed. So you're going to want to try to get any of those guns that you can, whenever they're available. Last thing before I end the video, if there seems to be interest in it, I may also make a video on progressing through the game, how to get good weapons, that kind of thing. And this is not the last video in this series. I'll be making a video on each of the individual worlds in the campaign as well.